Christophe Peschoux, Chief of the UPR team on the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights. Christophe, thank you very much for accepting this interview. You are at the moment very busy with the beginning of the second cycle, and with this position you are at the center of everything, so we're very happy to have you here and to try to understand better the work of your team on the UPR. So please can you explain first your work as your position, and then we'll go into your office and its work.
Well, first a small correction. I'm not at the center of everything. Human rights are at the center of everything. We are simply facilitating the process of state engagement with the UPR, with this new mechanism. I have spent most of my life in the field at country level to protect and promote rights. I started at the age of 22, over 50 now. And recently the High Commissioner asked me to come back to headquarters to coordinate within OSCHR the UPR process, the work on UPR, and that involves on the one hand supporting the UPR process at the Council, but also helping member states, civil societies, UN cities and others to implement recommendations at country level. So the decision was made earlier this year by the High Commissioner to bring these two functions together so that OSCHR can develop a coherent approach and a coherent action. The documentation of the UPR process, the support to the proceedings, and the implementation at country level, which are the three elements.
Yes. So let's start with the Geneva process. So how big is your team? And as I understand, you are in charge of producing the compilation, the summary, and also the report of the working group. So can you please explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's right. We're responsible for preparing all the documents relating to the UPR process, except the national report. The team in charge of it is made of 18 colleagues. In my team directly, I have 10 colleagues who are responsible for drafting the summary of stakeholders report and the UN compilation, and preparing the working group report and then the outcome report. And in addition to these 10 colleagues, there are 2 colleagues in 3 other divisions of the office who contribute to the process and who are fully part of the team. So it's really a team exercise.
Okay, and so the same people are in charge of the compilation and summary and the report of the working group after?
Yes.
So can you please explain how is this compilation and summary written?
Well, it's the same team of individuals, and we organize ourselves depending on the amount of the work involved. We receive contribution from civil society organizations, from national institutions, from regional organization. We compile that info, we read it, we assess it, we analyze it, we compile it, and we synthesize it. We synthesize the information in a way that the substance is not affected, that the key issues are highlighted, and the whole contribution are reflected in a fair and objective manner. And it's the same for the UN compilation. We receive compilation from UN entities, or from collective contribution from the UN cities at country level, and then we do the same. We synthesize the information.
And so this draft, how is it, this report of the working group, how is it made? How many people work on it? What is your relationship with the Troika?
Well, this is a joint, again, it's a teamwork between our team and the team of the Human Rights Council branch. We are the secretariat. We provide the support to the working group. So our teams are in the room. They are listening to the state and the review statement. They are listening to the recommendation, to the interactive dialogue, and then they have to prepare a report within a very limited time, 48 hours, but also very limited space. We have 10,700 words to prepare the report, and to reflect every contribution as faithful as possible, so that there is no debate, there is no discussion as to the objectivity of this process. And of course, if question arises, then we are here to guide the process. We work very closely with the Troika, which is the intermediary between the Secretariat, the states making the recommendation, and the states under review, and everything is mediated by the Troika. We are providing Secretariat support and methodological guidance.
Great. And now, how do you work at the national level with the stakeholders, with the state under review, with the UN country teams? What is your interaction with them?
We've been working at the country level since the beginning, since this new mechanism was established. We have field offices in about 57 or 58 countries of varying nature and size, but the approach is the same. First, we are supporting at country level the implementation of the human rights recommendation made by all mechanisms, not only the UK.
Holistic approach.
Yes. So that's the approach that has been defined by the High Commissioner, which will be integrated into our work at the different levels. And at country level, we are working closely with national authorities, with civil societies, with the UN system, with development partners, multilateral or bilateral development agencies to help governments, judiciaries, parliaments to implement their human rights obligations and commitments through information, through advice, through guidance, through technical cooperation.
And with the help of this voluntary fund for technical assistance.
So far, I think we have undertaken 150 activities in the past 2 years in 50 to 60 countries. We don't have up-to-date statistics. I think these statistics do not represent the exact number. I think it's higher, but we are very active at the country level. The trust fund that has been established by the Council to support implementation of human rights recommendation is being used and actively used. I don't have again the most recent statistics, but I think we're in the process of supporting between 20 and 30 different projects at country level, in Africa, in Latin America, in the Pacific, and in Southeast Asia. Because again, I think it's important to emphasize this point. The UPR process is a process that doesn't start in Geneva. It's a process that starts at home between government and other actors that pass through Geneva for the accountability part of this process, and then return to the country, because what is important, as the Council has stressed in a number of documents, is the implementation of states' obligations and commitments. That's where human rights are, that's where they have to be cultivated, that's where they have to be protected and promoted. And as the High Commissioner said in a recent speech, UPR is not a PR exercise. It's what is happening in Geneva here is the accountability part, or the accountability moment of the process. So the real work has to be done at the country level, and it's in the relationship between states and their population and their people.
Great. Well, we trust that with you as the head of the team, it will be in good hands, and we're looking forward to cooperating more with the office, and we'll be looking forward to the next phase of the UPR process. Thank you very much.